Buddhist Wisdom Teaching, Part 4. What if the Buddha's teaching about no self and the illusion of separation points to a profound truth about your connection to all existence? In this teaching, we explore the Dharma of timelessness, the Bodhisattva path of selfless giving, and the nature of awakening from Samsara. What you'll discover today will illuminate the path from suffering to liberation. Welcome, dear practitioners. Today we continue our exploration of ancient wisdom teachings that resonate deeply with the Buddha Dharma, revealing truths about our true nature beyond the illusion of separate self. In this fourth teaching, we dive into one of the most essential aspects of Buddhist practice, understanding the emptiness of separate existence and recognizing our interconnectedness with all beings. Many walk the path feeling isolated in their practice, believing they are alone on their journey toward enlightenment. But what if this sense of isolation is itself part of the illusion of Maya? This teaching emerged as a contemplation on the nature of consciousness and its relationship to the ultimate reality. It speaks of forgetting, not as cessation, but as avidya, the fundamental ignorance that obscures our Buddha nature. It reveals the true nature of time as mere convention, the Bodhisattva's compassionate offering to all beings, and the path of return to our original enlightened state. Prepare yourself for deep meditation on these truths. Find your sitting posture, establish mindfulness of breath, and let us together walk the Noble Eightfold Path toward understanding your true nature. May all beings benefit from this teaching. You are inseparable from the ultimate reality, though it seems you are fulfilling an intention separate from the universal consciousness, and that you are alone in this karmic action. Of all delusions, this is the most harmful for you, but it does not bring cessation with it, only forgetting, only avidya. What arises in dependent origination returns to emptiness with compassion, whether it remembers this or has forgotten. Forgetting breeds the limitation of your luminous awareness, which would be sufficient to illuminate all the realms of existence, but now barely reaches the modest sphere around you. This forgetting has become the reason for our contemplation. For you do not turn to your inner wisdom for understanding, where all answers rest in pristine awareness, but seek outside yourself, which indicates that you still perceive yourself as separate and something external as possessing knowledge unavailable to you. Now, tomorrow, or yesterday, these are mere conventions for you. You abide beyond time, and what appears to you as temporal is not ultimate reality. When you seek liberation, timelessness is your refuge, for in what is impermanent, awakening cannot be found. Based on the practices set before you in this life, you must work skillfully with time, but do not let it become your master, feeding your distorted views about your position in samsara. Your true nature is not subject to time, but to your mindful awareness. Mindful awareness is the true master over temporal experience. The more clearly you observe the details of existence with equanimity, seeing behind them the boundless nature of phenomena, the more skillful your relationship with moments becomes. They are for you either sources of suffering or gateways showing the path to Nirvana. Time, unfolding before you, is a path leading to only one destination, which has no equal in the cycle of rebirth. You can decide how to walk it, with heaviness or lightness, and in what manner, as an awakened practitioner or one bound by ignorance. From the perspective of conventional reality, in which you now observe the structure of phenomena, time appears as a flowing stream of consciousness. It either stagnates in attachment or rushes forward in turbulent craving, cascading through the realms of existence, and it seems you have no control over it. But I tell you, time is completely dependent on your perception. In this, your mindful engagement with life becomes the determining factor of how you experience its passing and its fullness. Habitual patterns, actions repeated countless times, conditioned responses. These create suffering in relation to time, making it an enemy that consumes the precious human birth you have attained. Your interaction with time is built on grasping, not imbued with awareness of impermanence. You engage with it reactively. Instead, this becomes a path of distraction from the true purpose of practice. While clinging to passing moments persists in this relationship, you will not achieve mastery. This clinging must be released so that one day time becomes merely a conventional designation that you can work with skillfully according to the needs of compassionate action. Time is not your master, but a tool for practice. It only reflects your progress in fulfilling your Bodhisattva vow. It should not instill fear about the impossibility of achieving what you aspire to in liberation, but rather serve as a witness to your path toward awakening, which is inevitable and destined to be realized by you. Time is a thin veil over the nature of reality, but it is also a boundary of perception, a unique frame of subjective experience in the vast space of interdependent arising. Do not let it turn these transparent, shimmering, barely noticeable boundaries into solid walls, separating you from the ocean of emptiness. See through them. Use time as a skillful means, a point of reference, a coordinate. But do not mistake it for ultimate reality. Do not build your understanding of Buddha nature upon it. You are a timeless manifestation, a non-spatial process of consciousness, and any coordinate is only the result of your karma in manifesting within the conditions of samsaric existence. The fulfillment of your Dharma offering in eternity is a sacred task. In it is the compassion leading you along the path of awareness, like light emanating from wisdom. What is the purpose of compassionate action? What is its intention? The realization of the Dharma through alleviating the suffering of all beings. Where compassion reaches, awakening begins, and enlightened action unfolds there. From what source does compassion arise? What does it carry? What does it transform into? This is the only knowledge of ultimate truth, and you are inseparable from it. Whenever you contemplate the purpose of your presence in this moment, whether you are engaged in some activity or simply abiding in silent meditation among the phenomena of your experience, you already know the response. For your Buddha, nature manifests this understanding. What is given through Dharma transmission cannot be forgotten, cannot be taken away, cannot be lost. It is the essence of your true nature, and therefore, any fear of not fulfilling your Bodhisattva path has no foundation. What awakens to truth in you has never left it. Your practice in this human realm is focused on planting seeds of Dharma and cultivating them through right effort. Therefore, neither external circumstances nor internal obstacles are primarily what you work with, but the mind with its capacity to transform suffering into wisdom. Look around, how complex and interconnected all phenomena are, how abundant the teachings of reality for you. There is no question to which the Dharma does not have an answer for you, and therefore, the best way to practice is to observe the teachings present in every moment of existence. The gift of Dharma flowing from you to other beings is purified by the ground of your Buddha nature, washed by the waters of your compassion, carried by the winds of your pure motivation. Everything arises for this selfless offering, so that according to the law of karma, merit returns to you abundantly. Do not be stingy with compassion. You are inexhaustible, like the Dharma itself, capable of benefiting countless beings. Being a source of benefit for others and offering the gift of Dharma, you will not be depleted, for what flows from Buddha, nature returns to it. Do not withhold your offering also, because in this tendency to protect lurks fear, as if what is given will not generate positive karma, and your merit will not increase. Let go of this fear, for it is not a separate self that gives, but Buddha nature expressing itself through form. Compassion carries wisdom, being wisdom. It is not something separate from it, and there is as much wisdom in compassion as there is enlightenment. Do not accumulate pride in your Dharma practice. This is attachment to the fruits of action. Do not think about how many beings you will benefit. Numbers in the realm of infinite compassion are merely conventional designations. Continuous practice is your aim, but it is achieved not through counting, but through your ability to let Dharma flow unobstructed. Do not think that without detailed instructions, you cannot practice the Dharma in the human realm. A seed sprouts without effort of ego grasping, but entirely through the natural unfolding of causes and conditions, meeting the intention to manifest and embody the potential within. Your sincere aspiration alone is sufficient. This aspiration will fully prepare the conditions, and Dharma will take root. Of the countless practices that exist across infinite Buddha fields, this path of compassion is the most beautiful. The harmony of energy flowing between the giver and receiver of Dharma is extraordinary. It is perfect equanimity itself, the very blossoming of awakening, the very fragrance of profound joy and boundless loving kindness. This flowering is felt throughout all realms of existence and continues in a dance of liberation through countless kalpas. You may not perceive this with ordinary senses, but you can feel the profound peace of being a vehicle for Dharma. So let awareness flow from you, connecting with the awareness of all beings. This luminosity alone is sufficient to support all existence in the path to liberation. Receive the wisdom of your heart-mind, nourishing your practice with subtle streams of insight. You will not hear its gentle guidance with conceptual thinking, but your entire being recognizes its presence in every moment. According to the depth of your meditation, you are ready to receive teachings that return you to a space of freedom from all dukkha, and knowing the rightness, the truthfulness of your aspiration on the path. Self-grasping locks you in delusion, in which your nature appears limited by form and seems to end where another form begins. But your heart-mind, creating vibrations through its steady rhythm that transcend your apparent boundaries, knows more about your true nature than you have yet realized. Accept that the wisdom within you is more profound than conceptual understanding, though you have not completely lost faith in this. Having accepted this, see yourself as an expression of interdependent origination, where the beauty and boundlessness of all phenomena can reveal to you your Buddha nature. What is a day for you consists of billions of arising and ceasing for one particle of your body. What is a moment for you is an eon of transformation and ripening for another. In this diversity of processes, you can recognize the profound wisdom of the Dharma, giving each phenomenon exactly the conditions needed to fulfill its function in the web of causation. Your body is a mandala in which countless elements dwell, and they all serve one purpose, supporting your precious human birth. Do you really think that such an intricate system could arise without causes and conditions? That there is no karmic pattern in its manifestation? Every cell knows its function and fulfills it perfectly. It does not doubt its role, does not question why it exists. It simply arises and performs its function according to natural law. So too, you have arisen with a specific karmic propensity, which is already present in the very structure of your consciousness, listen to the wisdom of your body. It communicates through sensations, and in these sensations are encoded messages about your alignment with Dharma. When you act with right intention, the body relaxes, breath becomes steady, and the heart fills with equanimity. When you deviate from skillful action, the body tenses, breath becomes irregular, and discomfort arises. Do not ignore these teachings. They point more directly than conceptual knowledge toward the path. Your body is a support for your practice, and between body and mind exists an ancient interdependence supporting the journey toward recognizing Buddha nature. Let those who seek worldly pleasures engage with samsara, and those who seek liberation follow the Dharma. Those who plant seeds of craving harvest more suffering. Those who plant seeds of wisdom harvest awakening. From the perspective of worldly concerns, this may seem unreasonable, but from the perspective of ultimate truth, this understanding contains profound wisdom. One who is attached to worldly pursuits dedicates energy to perpetuating samsara. One who loves liberation seeks only what is beyond birth and death. Let go of clinging to what you perceive, for in perceptions there is no ultimate truth. The world before your senses is as insubstantial as form that consciousness has abandoned. For awakened awareness, this world of conventional reality dissolves in the clear light of wisdom and dissipates like mist. So does it truly exist? Or does it merely appear? Contemplate that only Buddha nature is unchanging, and your practice will lead you to the ground of being in which you will rest. Even if countless lifetimes unfold before your awareness, Nirvana is attainable in this very moment. One need only recognize it everywhere, and what abides in Nirvana is beyond arising and ceasing. Show me what does not change, what does not experience birth and death, what does not disappear, and I will show you. Here is your true nature. Peace will arise in your heart-mind, for there is nothing to fear. As long as fear persists, you create the object of fear and give it reality in your experience, turning clear awareness into a cave of mental formations. But when you observe what arises with the eyes of compassion, you see only emptiness taking temporary forms, playing as phenomena, expressing the dance of dependent origination. Leave the world of mental projections to those caught in delusion. Let them dance in conceptual mind. Let them manifest as vivid experiences. These appearances will not bind you if you remember their impermanent nature. The more intensely you grasp at these insubstantial appearances, the more solid and compelling they will seem. Here it is essential not to give them power over you, for that which is the ground of all phenomena cannot become trapped by its own manifestations. Remember the truth of emptiness. Follow it as the Buddha taught his disciples to follow the Dharma. There is no difference between ultimate reality and the path, just as there is no difference between you and Buddha nature. Your following the path is not measured in physical distance, but in the depth of your insight into where the enchantment of samsara loses its binding power. What appears as suffering in delusion blooms as wisdom in awakening. What is obscured by ignorance continues as clear light in wisdom. Make the choice definitively. Are you a being trapped in samsara, or an expression of Buddha nature, temporarily experiencing the illusion of separate self, knowing nothing but the luminous awareness in which all experience arises and into which all experience dissolves? Do not believe the delusions that convince you that as long as causes and conditions persist, you will continue to cycle through birth and death. As causes are destined to exhaust, so too will you cease to exist. Your fears created this narrative. But no force can make what is beyond birth and death subject to samsara, what is Buddha nature subject to delusion, what is true obscured by falsity. You are entering recognition of your true nature, where timelessness reveals the conventional nature of time. Infinity is recognized within apparent limitation. Fragmentation dissolves into wholeness, and the sense of isolated self transforms into understanding of non-self and interconnection. You, practitioner, are approaching full awakening, though you still perceive habitual patterns and familiar landscapes of conditioned existence. One who maintains awareness of luminous mind is guided by wisdom and nourished in practice toward liberation, which no amount of sensory pleasure can replace. Supporting your practice, countless bodhisattvas and Dharma protectors await your next step on the path. But do not believe that you might fail to take that step or choose a wrong direction. One who walks the Buddha's path is certain to reach enlightenment, and those who do not walk this path have not yet begun the journey. The Dharma knows your deepest aspiration before you form the thought. Without the fulfillment of this aspiration, neither consciousness nor phenomena would manifest. Everything from the briefest moment of awareness in the smallest particle to the vast experience of cosmic Buddhas exists only because you will realize your Buddha nature and return awareness to its source. If your awakening were not certain, not a single Dharma would arise on the horizon of boundless emptiness. Therefore, wherever you are, the path to liberation is present. Whatever direction your practice takes, it is valid, and it leads toward realization. In the human realm, there are no paths that lead away from Buddha nature. You choose only how many lifetimes of practice, during which you will release the illusion of separation and long for liberation. And when this longing becomes primary, understanding will dawn in which you recognize that you have never been separate from enlightenment. If you fully comprehended the limitation of concepts, you would release attachment to them as a method of understanding ultimate reality, and would rest in the direct experience of the boundless Dharma Dhatu, which you are and which you have always been and will always be. You would perceive layers of existence interpenetrating in every moment of consciousness. You would move through dimensions of reality and recognize that you are none other than the totality. In the display of phenomena left unlabeled by conceptual mind, you would finally recognize the face of the Buddha. And between the Buddha and your true nature, you would find neither boundary nor distinction. What unfolds in experience is the play of consciousness, though it may seem otherwise in this moment. Having manifested as apparently separate, the fundamental unity has never been lost. And therefore, what matters to you arises from this unity and abides in it. But our true connection is neither in words nor in concepts. We do not maintain this imperishable recognition through language or images. If sound were the true nature of your being, you would resonate as infinite harmonies, as the music of the spheres singing throughout existence. But you do not take concepts as ultimate, though you may not yet fully realize this. Concepts are pale reflections of direct experience. What is beyond concepts is closer to truth that abides in unity with ultimate reality. Full awakening will occur when you meet your own mind directly. This is not about external reflections or others revealing your qualities and obscurations. You are pure awareness, abiding in non-dual space, beyond any conceptual framework of beginning and completion. But what will you recognize? What will you experience, being a drop of clear light in the ocean of Dharmakaya? How will you sense the waves of knowing arising? How will you distinguish within undivided awareness something familiar? And how will you hold this recognition in the fabric of timeless presence? That which is aware of these words has never been born, has never existed as a separate entity, and will never cease. For what takes on form is not the form itself, but the source of its appearing. Even a fleeting, barely perceptible glimpse of your true nature, arising in deep meditation or in moments of spontaneous recognition, during states of samadhi or profound insight, is capable of opening new dimensions of understanding, initiating the path to complete realization of your Buddha nature. Strong identification with form creates obscurations that deny the very fact of your nature beyond appearances. Belief that form and awareness are identical introduces confusion into the very structure of understanding, mistaking conditioned phenomena for unconditioned reality. Do not ask, "Who am I?" for then you will attempt to answer only with labels and designations. And thus, you will strengthen the illusion of separate self, and this proliferation of concepts will have no end. Instead, rest in the question, what is the nature of awareness itself? And abide in that which has no name, in the space of witnessing all that arises internally and externally. Countless processes arising long before concepts emerged to describe them constitute the display of your manifestation, but that from which witnessing arises remains untouched by phenomena. The stillness of your ground of being is your only true nature. No matter how deeply you have become convinced of abandonment, open to this recognition, and separation dissolves as if it never existed. Reunion in this very moment, supported by profound confidence in inseparable unity, corrects all distortion, and the need for continued rebirth in samsara falls away naturally. Buddha nature is here, practitioner. It is always present. It completely offers itself as your very being, and you are the full expression of it. And may this understanding not give rise to new grasping, as if you possess something that could be taken away. You are what Buddha nature manifests as. You are awakening itself, that which cannot be separated, which is not other than ultimate reality. What is one with Dharmakaya, and what is Dharmakaya? Without analyzing the subtleties of conceptual formulation, which is as far from truth as a reflection in water is from the moon itself. But if, releasing all attempts to grasp details intellectually, you simply rest in deep acceptance of non-dual awareness, you will be able to directly realize that vast luminosity which presents itself in countless ways. Dear Dharma friends, we have journeyed through profound teachings about the nature of reality and consciousness. Let us now integrate these insights into our practice. First teaching, the illusion of separate self, anatman, creates suffering. The feeling of being alone on the path is ignorance, avidya. Every moment of practice, every step on the noble path occurs within the interdependent web of all existence, pratityasamutpada. Second teaching, time is conventional reality, samvriti satya, not ultimate truth, paramartha satya. It arises dependent on perception and consciousness. When we abide in mindful presence, sati, time becomes a skillful means, upaya, rather than a source of dukkha. Third teaching, the Bodhisattva's gift to beings requires no effort of ego clinging. Like the lotus that blooms naturally when causes and conditions align, your Dharma offering manifests through right intention and non-attachment. You are not a separate giver, but a manifestation of compassion itself, karuna. Fourth teaching, the world of forms, rupa, is empty of inherent existence, shunyata. What we perceive is like a dream, a reflection, a dewdrop. Our Buddha nature is unchanging, while all phenomena are impermanent, anicca. Fifth teaching, Return to Nirvana is not a journey in space or time. Samsara and Nirvana are not two. The path of awakening is recognizing what has always been present, removing the veils of ignorance, not acquiring something new. This teaching invites us to cease seeking enlightenment outside ourselves and instead recognize the Buddha nature present in this very moment, in every conscious breath, in every arising and passing of phenomena, in the spacious awareness that witnesses all experience. Practice integration. When loneliness arises, contemplate, the separate self is empty. I am interconnected with all beings. When time creates pressure, practice, time is conventional, I rest in timeless awareness. When doubting your path, remember, compassion flows through this form without grasping. When form seems solid, meditate, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Practitioners, if this teaching has planted seeds of awakening in your mind stream, please support the Dharma by sharing this teaching. In future sessions, we will continue to explore these profound truths. Share in the Sangha comments which teaching penetrated most deeply into your understanding. What insights arose during this contemplation? Remember, you possess Buddha nature. Your awakening is not something to achieve, but something to recognize here in this precious present moment. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings recognize their true nature. Until our next gathering in the Dharma,